people, it's your girl Evonna back with another video. And as I can see, I have a new item in my hand. Yes, I have a microphone because I invested in myself and I invested in my YouTube channel. And I got a microphone. Not that y'all can't hear me because I'm already loud, but I feel like this will help me to talk more calmer because I know that I have something in my hand that y'all can hear me. I don't have to be all up there. So yes, but anyway, that's not what this video is about. So as you can see by the title of this video is titled Demand Intentionality, and I'm just going to go ahead and get straight into what I'm about to say. So yeah, let's go ahead and get straight into it. So something I'm learning on my healing journey is how to be intentional with God, my time, and my talents. I noticed that one of the reasons why some of my past plans or relationships didn't work out was because there was no pure or true intentionality. In my past relationships, we were always going with the flow instead of setting our goals and intentions clear and head on in the beginning of the relationship. Now, as I'm growing in God, I realize that I have wasted so much of my time and talents on people who were never appointed to love me and celebrate me. And when I truly thought about why I was wasting time, I realized that it was because of my disobedience. I refused to follow the instructions of the Lord, so I chose unnecessary spiritual warfare over God's perfect plan for my life. So as I journey along this healing journey, I created a wonderful boundary for myself, and that boundary is I refuse to waste my time and talents and purpose on people who are not intentional about me or God. For when you are intentional about someone or something, you are going in with a mindset set on goals, plans, and purpose to add to one's life. And so when it comes to anything, especially dating for me, I refuse to engage with someone or something that is inconsistent, unintentional, and a distraction to my growth. They must want God before they want me. Because in order to be intentional, you have to have a vision. And the only way you're going to get that vision is by being in the presence of God. And so this video is titled Demand Intentionality because many of us women, many of us, men, not that I'm a man, but many men out there try to understand why women always go in with wanting something or getting something. And the same thing with women. We be wasting our time with men who do not have any intention on wifing us or any intention on, taking us in our higher purpose in God. And we just try to figure out, man, why am I wasting time with these same people? And it seems like it's the same spirit in different people. And it's like, oh my gosh, I always find myself in these cycles and patterns where I'm dealing with people who are not intentional about me or intentional about following God. And what I realized for myself is that the reason why I kept finding myself in these cycles and these patterns is because I refused to obey God. And so as I'm learning on this healing journey, I'm learning that the reason why I find myself dealing with people who are unintentional about me, dealing with people who just tolerate me and not celebrate me, dealing with people who don't really love me, they just want my assets, is because I was disobeying Christ. So it wasn't nobody else's fault. It was really my fault because God has already shown me red flags and things that I shouldn't be indulging in. But me being disobedient, I refused to obey God and I did what I want to do. So like I said, the only way to be intentional about something, and this is not just for relationships, because I'm just making relationships an example, because I feel like that's the best way for me to put it so I can explain it to you guys. So yes, you just need to demand intentionality. If you want somebody to be intentional with you, you need to set standards for yourself. It all starts with you. If you want something to attract you, you have to be that. You know what I'm saying? You want a good man to, you want to attract a good man, you need to be a good woman. Because if you're so toxic, if you're always dealing with, certain past traumas and you're not healed from that, you're going to put that on the next man, the next good man that try to come in your life. And so it all starts with you. You need to heal. You need to be able to be true and honest with yourself. You need to set standards for yourself, because if you don't set standards for yourself, then how do you expect that man to come, or how do you expect that car to come, or how do you expect all these things to come? You don't even have a standard for yourself. And so I realized that it always starts with you. You have to demand intentionality. You have to be intentional with your time and your talents. So I'm gonna just give y'all an example. So it was this guy texting me, and he was texting me, and I was like, okay, I was texting him back, but then he got very inconsistent. So in the beginning he was very consistent, then after that he was inconsistent. And so when he tried to text me, I did not text back. And then he said, why you left me on red? He said, no, matter of fact, he didn't say that. He said, did you leave me on read? I said, yes, respectfully, because I don't have time to deal with nobody that's not consistent with me, especially if you can't tell me why you didn't text me. Now, somebody will call me dramatic. Somebody will call me, well, dang, like you mean. No. It's called being intentional, because you can't start off consistent, then get inconsistent. You're the one that texted me. You wanted me. So you have to show intentionality. You have to be consistent. And so, like I said, I titled this whole video Demand Intentionality because you have to set standards. You have to start the standard and you have to set it high. Yes, you need to set it high. You're tired of opening your legs to the same guys. You need to set the standard. You're tired of opening your legs to the same people and they don't give you nothing back in return. It's never reciprocity. They're always taking from you. Then you need to set the standard. You need to draw a line. You need to set boundaries because that's the only way that they're going to respect you and you're going to respect you. Because when it comes to loving yourself, you also have to respect yourself. That's another form of love. Respect is another form of love. If you love yourself, you're going to respect yourself. Don't open your legs to just anybody. And this is just something that I'm learning on my healing journey. And so I just want to say your time, your talents, your gifts, the asset that God placed inside of you is special. It should not just be given to anybody. That's why you can't just date anybody because you're not just anybody. You know that you are anointed. You know that you are appointed and called by God. Therefore, you cannot be with somebody that ain't on what God on. Okay. So, and that's what it has come to be for me, at least, because I'm so intentional with God that if you're not intentional with God, there's no point in you even texting me or even trying to be with me, because if you don't got God, you can't give me anything. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not being mean, I'm being real, because if I want to attract a man of God, I have to be that woman of God. Therefore, I have to set the standard. I have to make sure that I'm obeying Christ. I have to make sure that I'm following the will of the Lord. I have to make sure that I'm not just giving myself to anybody or dating just anybody. I have to set the standard and set it high. And it's great to set the standard high because I serve a most high God. He did not call me to settle for less, neither did he call me to compromise. So it is okay for me to set high standards and not be like, oh, well, she demanded too much. No, I'm not demanding much at all. Actually, I'm just demanding what I deserve. And that's what I'm coming to know. I'm coming to know that in this season that it's okay to say, hey, I'm not going to go on a date with this person because this is a counterfeit. Like, it's okay, because at the end of the day, you do not want to see something with something that's not in the will of the Lord. Also, remember that you are an asset. You are very valuable. Your asset should not just be given to anybody, because you know that you can bring something to the table. You know that you have a lot to bring to the table. You know that you have plenty of God-given gifts to give this world, and this should not just be given to anybody. And so when you think about giving yourself to somebody or being friends with somebody, because it's not even just about boyfriend, girlfriend, and husband and wife, friendships as well, because you have to understand that you are an asset. You are important. You are valuable. You have things to bring to the table, and you should not be bringing your things to the table with somebody who's not willing to bring a thing. They're just willing to bring their funny personality. They're just willing to bring their goofy fun ways, their party ways. You don't have time for that. They need to bring something to the table as well. It's not about, oh, well, if you really love me, if it was like a kind gesture and you wouldn't expect nothing back. No, friendships bring reciprocity. Relationships bring reciprocity. A marriage requires reciprocity. Everything requires reciprocity. And so do not let them tear you down by thinking, well, you don't really love me because you didn't do out the kindness of your heart. No, if I'm bringing something to the table, you need to bring something to the table. And so do not settle for less, y'all. It's not worth it. Don't settle for less. There is somebody out there, or there is something out there that you've been praying about that is out there. So don't think that, oh, it's impossible, I'll never find it. No. And for example, and I know I keep using this, there is a man or there is a woman of God out there, okay, that you are praying for, that is out there specifically for you. And so you don't have to settle for the counterfeit. You don't have to settle for the church boy. You don't have to settle for any of them. You don't have to go with the decoy. You can go out with the real thing, okay? You can marry the real thing. And so don't ever get it twisted and think that your standards are too high. Your standards are not too high. They just can't get with the program, and they're not ready to grow. And that's the truth. And so you have to grow up. You gotta go. And so I'm about to go because I'm gonna keep talking, but I just pray that this message encourage y'all. I love y'all. You already know what I'm saying. Love God, love others, and baby, don't forget to love yourself. I hope you took something from this video. And like I said, demand intentionality. And remember that it all starts with you. You can't go around telling them to do all this and do all this and do all this. You can't go around telling people to pay attention to you and take you out on dates and do all these things. You don't even do it for yourself. That's why it always starts with you first. That's why it always starts with you. You need to take yourself out on dates. You need to respect yourself. You need to set the bar high for yourself. You need to push yourself. You need to obey God. And so if you want these things to attract you, and I'm not doing no law of attraction type stuff, but what I'm saying is what you put out there, it will come back to you if it's in the will of the Lord. And so if you do that, if you just, focus on you and take care of yourself, best believe that thing, person, place, it will come to you. And like I said, y'all, I know I kept referring to relationships, but that was like the best examples that I had, because I have so many experiences with unintentional relationships. So I'm able to share that with you guys. And so I just pray that this encourage y'all. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in my next video.